flow. You really about to do it for the
only cost you 1,000 USD.
Have y'all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? Basically, he says most of the luxury brands we use every day are actually made in China, then shipped to Europe just to get rebranded and sold back to us at insane prices. Like a wedding ring that would cost $2 in China somehow turns into a $2,000 ring. China is the world's biggest manufacturing hub. 80% of your Gucci, made in China. 60% of your Prada, also made in China. Even Chanel, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Adidas, Nike, you name it. The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a made in France or made in Italy.
Actually, J. Marie Premium sneakers, unlike the premium quote-unquote brands discussed in the TikTok video, we are 100% Italian leather, handcrafted in Italy. In fact, I've been speaking about the quality of J. Marie Premium sneakers for years. Check it out.
And cheaply, you have to use cheap fabrics, such as polyester or nylon, and they're not biodegradable. So when you have them in the landfills, they're not breaking down. So within the business, we do have a national shoe drive going on, and I think I'm going to make that a year-round thing. So I partner with a company called Angel Bins, which is a nonprofit company that collects, cleans, package, and sort gently used shoes of any sort, and they distribute it to underserved countries like South America and Africa. So J. Marie Premium Sneakers is a sustainable brand. For anybody who does not know, leather is sustainable. It is able to be recycled. It can be upcycled. It is biodegradable. So being that we are a sustainable company, we wanted to have initiatives for 2021 and forward that address issues of sustainability. So one of the initiatives that we decided to tackle was the issue of fast fashion. So for those of you who are not aware of what fast fashion is, it's a business model that churns out clothes like toiletries. So one of the biggest examples of that would be like a brand like Fashion Nova. Completely great brand, don't have a problem with it. However, it is a brand that is producing clothes at such a low rate that it's so affordable, it's so cheap that people are purchasing clothes as often as they purchase toiletries. So it used to be where clothing was. So with my sneakers, they have a high price point with a very, very little profit margin, meaning that the amount that I make off of it compared to the price of the shoe is very, very, very little. So I was told by the company that I work with, hey, if you replace this particular material with this material and you make it this kind of way, then it would lessen the amount that you're spending for material, where you can have a higher profit margin. And that is non-negotiable to me, because the whole point of the sneaker is that they are premium and they are not mass produced. And that's the selling point. So to answer your question, that is non-negotiable. So I don't want to negotiate the quality of the shoe to get more of a profit for myself. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just kind of is what it is.
Gotcha. Hey, so I know...
like I said, premium product, because what you'll have a company that sometimes you have brands that start off as premium, and as they begin to get a lot of consumers, it becomes mass produced. So when you're able to mass produce something, it's being made at such a large quantity that you can buy material in bulk. You can pay multiple workers and you can pay them a lower minimum wage. So one of the things, I never wanted to compromise on the material. Yeah. So that's a non-negotiable for me. So with the pricing of my sneakers, there's a very low profit margin for me. And that's because I wanted to focus more on what I was giving people. I was wanting to focus on the quality, and not only just what the consumer gets, but the people who are making the sneakers. They are not mass produced, they're handcrafted. So these are people making these sneakers by hand. So I wanted them to get paid a livable wage, well, beyond a livable wage, because you hear livable wage, and that's literally all you can do is live where you pay rent.
Right.
But you can't do much beyond that. So I wanted the wages to be fair. I wanted to offer premium material, and I wanted it to be quality. So all of those things play a factor, because when you have people that are getting a wage that they're happy with, they're happy. So they're going to put that into what they're making because they feel good about what they're doing. And then to source quality material, that costs, you know what I mean? Especially.
So for those, this is a shoe for those who really understand craftsmanship, for those who like the Bentleys and the Rolls Royces, you know, who understand.
When I first started getting into fashion, with anything I do, I'm always like, how can I make this better? You know what I mean? Because I never want to be a person who's just offering, even though I feel like my brand is offering a solution to something, but I want to do more. So with fashion, I'm always running into people saying something about the price point, you know, with the material, if you know anything about fashion, the price point
is more of an investment. Yes.
Yes, but it's actually compared to other brands of likeness, it's on that lower end of that scale. You know, our price point is anywhere from $169, which is relatively normal for a sneaker, up to $220. So, and then when you get into that price range, you're getting into more of the premium material like crocodile, python. So it's given, and it's 100% leather. But I started realizing there was a huge problem happening in fashion with brands that would produce clothing or shoes that were off of the runway, but they would create like lesser I don't know what's the word I'm looking
like
for.
Quantities, so it was like limited edition.
No, a replica of a runway. Yeah, so fast fashion. So they would create an example of fast fashion would be like Fashion Nova